We have shared countless memories together, joyful, tearful, and of course funny. There are some qualities I like about you, some qualities I don't, and some qualities I've inherited from you. One, some qualities I've got from you are my acting, dancing, and painting skills. One quality I don't like about you, but have got from you, is your short temper. We might be a bit different, like how you like bold colors and I like pastels. But at the same time, we're quite similar in many ways. Like our looks, she's gorgeous. That's my traits, habits, and skills. There are also some qualities that I have, but you don't have, like my school math skills. When I grow up, I hope to be kind, confident, loving, intelligent, and stylish, just like you. Setting everything aside, we are of the same blood, we are mother and daughter, and will have an everlasting bond forever. I love you so much, Mama. Love, your favorite, your beloved daughter, Adira.
Surprise.
I know you had no clue, but that's why we saved the best for last.
Oh my God, that is so sweet.
She is just a beauty, and she's one of the most kind, gentle, soft-hearted. I mean, such a blessing. Adira is a personality, and I love that she is obsessed with food just like her father is. So one thing about the Chopras you have to know, and I've grown up in that house, that when you're at breakfast, we discuss lunch. When you're at lunch, we discuss dinner. And food is a big part. Food and film is what defines the Chopra Khandan. And that's the one thing, Adira, I was surprised. We were in London together once, and she knew my two bhola bachchas who know nothing about anything, I want to tell you. She was quoting all the fancy names of the menu, and she knew everything about food, and both Rani and I started laughing because I said, my God, this chip, this block, it just goes together. She is truly a chip of the Chopra block.
Truly Yash Uncle's granddaughter.
Yes, she is.
Truly. Because sometimes I actually wonder that is she a reincarnation of Yash Uncle? Because she reminds me so much of Yash Uncle.
Right.
She's very creative. Yes, Karan. Of course, everybody here present today, they're also equally part of my journey.
Yeah.
As journalists, they have been supporting me. They have critiqued my work. They have helped me grow in my craft. My peers, my directors, of course you, Sanjay, all my directors, and the producers who have given me this beautiful opportunity of giving me these wonderful roles that I was able to portray in the cinema, and especially, being the voice of Indian strong women on cinema. I think that is something that I've always chosen to do consciously or subconsciously. It always came into my lap and I grabbed it. Even your film, Kabhi Alvida Kehna. It was different, it was challenging, but I think it spoke about what a woman wants and what she chooses, and I think various roles of my women, and that's something that I always wanted to portray through my films and in my career.
Let's take you back, Rani, though, to your childhood. You come from, of course, a film family, but I know you have a really special bond with your family, with your mom and dad, and your childhood is full of stories I've heard of. It's full of love, joyousness, craziness, Durga Pujas, the whole enchilada. What was it like let me take you back to being the young Rani Mukherjee. What did that feel like at that point of time?
I think that time it was more about, being in a very humble Bengali family. Like my dad and mom tried to make ends meet. I used to see them struggle through their days. There were times when my mom was not able to buy me a particular thing that she really wanted to buy for me because of certain challenges that came with not being economically very, very sound. But I saw my mom go through those days with so much of happiness, with that bright smile and that laughter of hers, and it never came in the way of our happiness, and that's something that I've imbibed from her. that whatever the circumstances are, whatever the situations are, one has to smile through and go forward. But what has been always very important for me is the support and the love that I've got from my family. That's my mom, my dad, my brother.
I'm a fan of your craft, but I'm an absolute fan of your mom's. She is, for everyone here, I have to say, she's one of the most entertaining people I have met on planet Earth. And please, if I forget, I have an anecdote about Krishna Auntie and Kuch Kuch Hota Hai that will always remain in the inner recesses of my mind. Apart from being a compassionate, empathetic mother, wife, and has been a daughter and sister, but she is hilarious.
Yes, she is.
And you recently celebrated her 75th birthday.
Yes, I did.
And you told me she was refusing to divulge her age to you. She refused to tell you how old she was.
Yes, yes.
And you had to go back, ask her sisters, ask her family, and calculate that she's actually turning 75.
75, yeah.
And apparently she refuses to acknowledge your age as well.
Yes.
So we have a special image of that special celebration of you and your mom on her 75th, and I'd love to share that with everyone, all our friends of the media.
Of course.
Let's have a look.
Yes.
When I came to offer you Kuch Kuch Hota Hai.
Yes.
And I know that there were lots of financial times, and I think that we rarely ever talk about those times that the kind of everybody talks about today, the big N word is discussed, but nobody realizes that there have been struggles, there have been tough times, and you as a daughter saw your parents. Of course, they hail from a film family, but they never saw that grandeur, they didn't see that lifestyle, they didn't see that, they just saw that simple life, but they still had those dreams for their daughter.
I
And
don't even think they had dreams, Karan, because I think the way, at the time that we were growing up, I think it was never really something that occurred to my dad that I'm going to go ahead in life and, work and do stuff like that. I think it was more always a boy's responsibility. I think that responsibility, they saw through my brother. I think with me it was very clear they were wanting to get me married at a very young age.
oh dear.
Yeah, but I think destiny had other plans for me. With the offer that came for Raja Ki Aayegi Barat, I think my mom just told me that Salim uncle, who is a family friend, who's offered you the film, why don't you take it up and see how it goes? And I think behind that ask or that want of my mom's, I never realized that probably my mom was finding a way to make probably the financial situation in my house better. Because they knew that if I do well in this field, maybe things would be better. But probably at that point of time, I didn't see it from that angle. But I think what made sense to me was that my mom said, why don't you take it up? Because at that point of time, as teenagers, we're wanting to take up a particular profession. We want to probably take, say, interior designing or law, and we're just confused as teenagers. At that point, I just thought it was very nice of my mom to say that, try this out. If it doesn't work out, you can go back to your studies and you can always go back to doing what you wanted to do.
Raja Ki Aayegi Barat, I remember, and I have something interesting to say about Raja Ki Aayegi Barat, which is very defining for you. That debut film, that performance, that power-packed performance, welcomed you into mainstream cinema. While the movie wasn't a thunderous success or wasn't a success, but what did happen is that you made a solid mark, and what followed after that was a result of that strong performance. Before we talk about Raja Ki Aayegi Barat, let's have a look. That you saw, Rani coming out and saying Raja Ki Aayegi, and she does one gesture like this. I got a call, 8 leading ladies had said no to me for Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. I had become like the most rejected first-time filmmaker because nobody wanted to do that part of Tina. I was trying very hard to convince them that it's pivotal to the film, it's important, it's a really crucial part. Nobody. All those 8 girls, and I remember each one of their names, and I thanked them that they said no. To me, I got a call one evening from none other than Aditya Chopra, who called me. He said, have you seen this new girl in this trailer of this film called Raja Ki Aayegi Barat? It's this song. She comes out and she does a gesture. This girl is a big star. So I was like, okay, I went and had a look, and I said, she's a very pretty girl, and I went and met her, and of course the rest is history.
Yes.
The irony here is that it was actually Adi who called me and recommended me to you.
Yes.
And do you remember that meeting?
I remember the meeting with
with you, of course.
Yeah.
But I think Raji Ki Aayegi Barat has to be one of those moments in my life where truly, Karan, when I look back, I really don't know what I was doing. I was just following my mother's instruction. I said, my mom wants me to do it, I have to do it. And because I'm doing it, I have to do it to the best of my ability. And whatever was best that I could do, I did for the film. But what I didn't know was the kindness that was shown to me by, say, Adi, you, Shah Rukh, Amir. You all at the same time probably saw this and you all thought that I was okay enough to be part of your films.
Amir brings me to Ghulam.
Yes.
So what happened with Raja Ki Aayegi Barat? I of course saw this close up, and I was thinking about, because I was still in the midst of being rejected.
Yeah.
So I was still like thinking that this could be my backup option. I'll see. I'll get a few more rejections, but this is not about me. I remember Ghulam. And you got signed, and the one thing in your favor for me was that you had this big Amir Khan film, and no one realized then that one song from that Amir Khan film and your presence in that film, and of course the film itself, is going to break ground and create and be the beginning of your stardom. That song, Aati Kya Khandala, I heard you even sang it on a plane only because nobody knew that you were the leading lady. Is that true?
No, I think we were going for the movie premiere or something.
Those days there were no promotions.
There were no
premieres,
promotion. I think there were only premieres, and I think somebody asked me in the plane to sing a song.
And you sang Aati Kya Khandala in a plane?
Yeah.
The plane was not going to Khandala.
Obviously not. So I think it was going to Delhi, and if I'm not mistaken, it was Bhavna Auntie from the media. I don't know if she's there today.
Bhavna Auntie asked you to sing a song?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Bhavna Auntie.
Well, I
was actually sleeping on a lap with full oil in my hair, and I remember.
Later we discussed why you were sleeping on Bhavna Auntie's lap. Not because this is a live YouTube show. We'll have that chat later. Bharti Auntie's here, though, I can say that. Sorry, same generation of media, so I can say that to you, Bharti, you're already a friend.